taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Call Bryant to perform a thorough check for comfort and peace of mind. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies, be breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds, below around 23. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, be breezy. The afternoon high near 49. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate. Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, February 6th, featuring members from the Nebraska baseball team. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. You heard that right, a skate park. And also highlight the upcoming year for Husker baseball with players from the team. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, February 6th, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors & Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old-school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors & Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors & Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, first and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a glorious Friday edition of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We just went through them all. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. We're going to get through them all, by the way. I told Jake, I'm like, we're going to fire them off in the first segment. And they're all good. They're all related in some way, shape, or form. Starting with one of the greatest college football coaches of all time. Probably the greatest college women's basketball coach of all time. Maybe the current greatest college football coach in the country. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. A guy that immense success in the NFL and coaching. And I've never looked at him the same since I had my pre-draft meeting with him. And then we're going to end with one of the best college basketball coaches in the country as of right now. Is that all fair to say as I look at this list of clips?
Yeah. What do you have to say about Herm Edwards? One of the greatest.
No, you're not supposed to give away the names yet.
Okay, well, yeah.
He's the guy I met with before the draft.
Okay, yeah.
I'll get to that. Okay.
I was waiting to see what you're throwing greatest around everywhere, so I was wondering where Herm Edwards fit in that.
Okay, well, Urban Meyer, one of the best college football coaches of all time. Okay, Kurt Cignetti, the current best coach in the country. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Then you got Gino Auriemma, the greatest women's basketball coach of all time. Fair to say?
Yeah.
Herm Edwards, no slouch in his own right. NFL success. No. I'll share the pre-draft. It's at the combine meeting. It was pre-draft. And then Fred Hoiberg, one of the best current college basketball coaches in the country. That's all accurate, what I said, right?
Yeah.
How dare you disrespect Herm Edwards? What is that about? So we're going to fire off through that. And then at 12:30, I'm waiting for confirmation. He said he was good to go yesterday. I'm waiting on confirmation. But the man who was almost Nebraska's defensive line coach, I got some questions. What was that interview? What he's comfortable sharing? What was that like? What was that process like? Things of that nature. And then there's this tiny little game being played this weekend. What's it called? The Puppy Bowl?
The Puppy Bowl. Yeah.
You watch the Puppy Bowl every year?
No, I can't say I do.
I do. And then about 2 minutes goes by and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I don't watch the whole thing every year. It's really cute. And then it's old after about 2 minutes. But it is entertaining for about 2 minutes. And I'm man enough to admit that I think it's cute for about 2 minutes. And then I get bored. No, the Super Bowl. I feel like we should talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. This is probably the least amount since I joined the ticket, I don't know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years, whatever it was, 5 years ago, that I've ever talked about the NFL playoffs. And I think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't want to say it's been a little bit of a downer, but like when Bo Nix goes down, it brings a little bit less luster to the AFC Championship game. Then the Patriots win by 3, and you're like, man, Bo Nix is worth more than 3 points. So should the Patriots be in the Super Bowl, even though they won on the field? But if Bo Nix is there, should the Broncos be in the game? So the AFC title game wasn't. I love the snow. I love the weather. But the actual game, I was like, oh, the Super Bowl, everyone just kind of thinks the Patriots going to get ran off the field. We'll give our predictions at the end, by the way. And even like when the Eagles lost fair and square, like nobody ran in with a steel chair. Nobody hit them between the legs when the ref wasn't looking. None of this pro wrestling bad guy stuff. They lost on their home field. I am convinced they're the better team, and the Eagles playing at Seattle would have been exponentially a better game. And who knows, the defending Super Bowl champs, maybe how that impacts everything. Plus, we had this thing called the transfer portal going on in January, which we've never really had to this degree before. Insanity in the not only Nebraska football coaching ranks, but college football coaching ranks. So I kind of feel like on this show, and I accept full responsibility for this, okay, we haven't talked about the NFL playoffs or the Super Bowl probably the least amount we've ever talked about them since I've been with the ticket. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
I'd say it is. I mean, I also got to pair that with Nebraska basketball, obviously, demanding more airtime as well they should have. So, yeah, I think that's a fair way of looking at it.
Dude, that is a phenomenal point because Nebraska basketball is something we're always going to talk about. It's something we're always going to watch. It's something that's always going to be exciting to us. But and I know the women aren't ranked at this moment in time, but when the women are ranked most of the year, and then you got the men, top 10 team in the country. They're a legit top 10 team in the country. Are they top 5? Are they number 10? I don't know, but they're a legit top 10 team. That's exciting stuff to talk about. So I said all that to say we're going to give our Super Bowl predictions at the end. What a long segue I just gave right there. You took part in it, so I can say we, right?
That's right.
All right. Before we dive into this, because kind of this first clip is Urban Meyer and what he looked for in the guys that he was bringing in. And it kind of had me thinking, is this what we've seen from the people, the players that RHULE has brought in, the coaches that RHULE has brought in? Is this something that I wonder if RHULE's doing it a different way, evaluating, looking at people in a different way? Maybe it's more similar to what Urban's going to describe here when we play the clip in a second. And that's kind of what prompted the headline of this show, which then is going to feed into all the clips we're going to dive into. Before all of that, I do want to give a gentle reminder for those that are so inclined and or so interested, the second annual Carriker Chronicles Youth Football Camp this summer here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. at the LYF Lincoln Youth Football Fields, July 8th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for kindergarten through 8th graders, boys and girls, all right, alike. And you can go to CarrikerChronicles.com to learn more and to register. Coach Osborne, 5-time national champ, will be our guest speaker. Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch will be there. Brendan Stye, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Terrell Farley, Brendan Stye, unanimous All-American, assistant athletic director at UNL. I'll be there. 35-plus coaches, 15-plus coaches. And it's actually more, well, I said 15-plus. It's over 15, but that's what the 15-plus covers. But it just keeps growing. Closer to 20 coaches now who have either played in the NFL and or college or coached in NFL and or college. So if you're so inclined, all right, learn more and to register at CarrikerChronicles.com. Why don't you drop the first of the 5 clips we are going to get through in the next 15 minutes from Mr. Urban Meyer. Go ahead, Jake.
Single common most characteristic of every great player, every great coach, every great business person I've ever been around. They detest losing. I mean, losing makes them ill. Number 2 is toughness. I think mental and physical toughness. I don't care if you're running a shoe company I think you just got to be tough. I think, but obviously there's different levels, Navy SEAL toughness versus it's different, but I think there's a correlation there. The third one is leadership. You got to lead yourself, then lead others in that order. You can't lead others before you lead yourself. Intelligence is the next. Football is a complicated game. The world's complicated. And 5 has even become more and more critical, and it's adaptability. When that 3 technique flushes you from the pocket, when the receiver runs a run route, when he's at 12 yards instead of 16 yards, and Alex knows that's what makes Mahomes to me is I love watching the guy. I mean, 65 to 75% of the plays he makes are the broken plays. So he adapts. So those are the 5 qualities that we would, and I got so nuts about it with a Sharpie. Every coach had to, put their name on the line.
All right. So when you listen to that, you got detest losing. Seems like a good quality to have if you're going to do something in a highly competitive business, sport, whatever you want to call it. Mental and physical toughness. Now, we did say there's different types of this, Navy SEAL toughness, whatever the case may be, but it's a prerequisite. Leadership. You want leaders. You want people who are going. Coaches should really be directors. The players should be leaders. You have the right leaders in place. Intelligence and adaptability. Oh, good Lord, in today's day and age of college football, you got to adapt every 22 seconds. Now, let's start with detesting losing. I mean, obviously, we've lost more games than we would like. When you kind of watch, and we got to be quick with these responses. As far as detesting losing, is that something you think we've seen so far from the folks that Matt Rhule's kind of hired, brought in, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, that's, if you're in sports and you don't detest losing, I mean, it's almost a prerequisite.
Disliking or detesting, though, there's a difference. Detesting is a strong word.
Yeah, I mean, you also got to balance that too, because you can't sit on it all. You got another game coming up generally, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's tough to tell anybody that's competitive that they don't detest it. But I get your point.
So I'll address the next one. We'll kind of alternate here. Mental, physical toughness. I'm not calling anybody soft. What I'm going to say is the last 3 games did not put on display a bunch of toughness, whether it be physical, whether it be mental. I mean, they flat out said, Matt Rhule flat out said they weren't playing as hard as they could. Their next D coordinator, which is now Rob Orich, as we know. But at the time that he said this, he's like, we need guys playing as hard as they can. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of like, whoa. I figured that was just a given, but I get it. All right, leadership. What are your thoughts on leadership? So far,
that's an interesting one. Obviously bringing Dana Holgorsen, that's a former head coach. I mean, you got a lot in that department, at least with that hire. But there are going to be people who might question. I don't say leadership necessarily, but the term "yes man" might get thrown around a little bit.
Anything else to add? Because I don't.
No.
Okay. Intelligence and adaptability. I'm going to kind of compartmentalize into one thing here. They can be 2 completely different things, but for the sake of time, and they kind of go hand in hand together. You got to be able to adapt with today's day and age of college football. All of a sudden, the portal is way more important to some than high school recruiting, but you still want bring in high school kids because you need the foundation of your program. How do you retain them? How do you not spend $1 billion while you're trying to retain them? How do you evaluate the right players? How do you adjust to having a cap and revenue sharing and all this and that. And we used to only have 10. Remember the rule when there was only 10 assistant coaches that were allowed? Now there's about 40,000. And there's no rule and no cap on that. You got to be able to be intelligent and adaptable to handle all of these things. All right, go on. What did we say was next? Did we say Signetti? Who did I say was next?
Yeah, we can do Signetti.
All right, go Signetti. This is on. He doesn't even do 15 total spring practices. You get 15. He does 13. And I didn't even know this. You get 25 total fall camp practices. I was always just trying to get through the things to the first game. But he doesn't do 25. Go ahead and roll it.
And, we'll practice 13 times. I've never practiced 15 times in spring yet. I've never practiced 25 times in fall camp. But we'll get enough done in 13 days.
Is that right?
Yeah, never.
And an hour and a half on the field, you said.
Well, yeah, now spring ball may go 150.
That's gonna get players there off that schedule. You keeping them fresh, you keeping them ready to go. Efficiency.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do is keeping them fresh and healthy, because nobody has depth, and I've never had a team that had enough depth.
So the guy going, oh, not even 15 total, like he was in disbelief. By the way, that was Urban Meyer, in case you were wondering. And then the player who chimes in, he's like, oh, that's going to get players there, keeping them fresh, which, by the way, he's right. Mark Ingram, former Heisman Trophy winner, NFL running back. When you talk about efficiency, he only practices, he said it, for about an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40 during the season, maybe an hour 50 in the spring. And he doesn't even use all of his practices. You don't have to do things a million times. If you've got a plan in place, the right people in place, not everything's going to fall perfectly. Okay, even puzzle pieces get bent, even while you're trying to put the puzzle together. It's not going to be perfect. But if you can be efficient, you'd be surprised how much more you can get out of a shorter span of time than you can a longer span of time if you're not efficient. And then people just drag. They just drag. And then you become a locker room full of people who, this is going to be weird, I've never said this, but drag. Like you're not efficient. There's not a sense of urgency, not panic, urgency. You got a little pep in your step, a little quickness in your step. Everything has a purpose that you're doing. You will get more out of less. People want to work hard. Preach hallelujah, amen. Also, working smart. Working smart is something I had to learn. I'll never forget, I had a strength coach with the Redskins. And I was like, 8, 9 years in to my career. And I asked for a workout. And he gave me the shortest workout I'd ever seen. I go, what is this? He goes, Adam, you're not going to want to hear this, but you're a little older. You're a little banged up. You've reached the point in your career where less becomes more. That was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard. He was right and I was wrong. Less had become more. It's about working smart and hard, but efficient with a pep in your step because you got a sense of urgency. All right, roll Gino Auriemma.
Do you really think that if we practice a certain way every day, and it's here, that when we get to the Final Four, we're going to play here? You're hoping we get lucky then. But if we practice here every day, and when we get to the Final Four, it's going to drop. There's no way you can practice at peak or play at peak performance under that kind of pressure. It's not possible. So you'll drop. But where we'll drop is still at a higher level than everybody else, provided we practice at that level, train at that level every day.
So I'm not going to lie. The first time I heard this, I was a little confused. Someone explained it to me. They said, if you practice at a certain level and you're just like, oh, I'm a game day player, I'm going to rise to the level of the occasion, it's not very likely. You drop to the level of your preparation. So in other words, if the practices and the way you prepare, the way you lift, especially the way you practice, is harder than the games, the game atmosphere is hard to replicate. So it's hard to maintain that high level as you go into games and pressure situations. Now, the greats can, but the greats are few and far between, Michael Jordan's and such. You're going to drop to the level of your preparation. As soon as they said that, I was like, holy crap, that makes so much sense. You drop to the level of your preparation, because if you're playing a legit competitor and contender in an opposing team, you're not just going to rise to the occasion if you haven't prepped. And if you prep and it's harder than the game, you'll drop to the level of your preparation. Does that make sense, Jake?
Yeah.
You just want to get to the next clip. I smell what you're cooking. Herm Edwards, roll it.
You can never cheat the game of football. There's preparation. There's more preparation in this sport than any sport. You think about it. You start in the spring. You don't play a game. You go in the summer. You don't play a game. The season starts. You get to play 12 games. You practice more than you play. And I tell players that all the time. This is a game where the practice, the preparation is bigger than the game. The game takes care of itself. It's what you're willing to do to get ready to play the game. And you can't cheat it. You can't cheat this game. It's a wonderful game. And if you try to cheat it, you try to say, well, I'm only do this little bit here. Oh, no. It's going to get you. And if you don't cheat the game, it all works out. It just does. Because you can live, when you walk off the field, you go, hey, I did everything I could do. It wasn't my day today. But guess what? Next week, I got a chance again. That's what we do.
I love that. I love so much about that. So we're going to go a little bit longer in this segment, Jake, and the next segment can be closer to 10 rather than 15 minutes. And we'll bring on Aaron Terry, who was almost Nebraska's defensive line coach. There was 2 finalists, Corey Brown. Can't wait to see what he does. And it was Coach Terry. So we'll bring him on at 12:30. Again, I'm still awaiting confirmation, but I'd be surprised if he's not able to do it. I think he's just booked up until 12:30. But Herm Edwards, he's right. The level of think about it. The football season in general is almost as long as basketball and baseball. It's a little bit shorter. Yet in baseball, they'll play 162 games. Pro football teams will play a guarantee of 17. College football teams are guaranteed 12. And basketball, baseball teams in college, anywhere from, depending on, usually around, I was going to factor in the postseason. Without factoring in the postseason, somewhere between 30 to 40. There's tournaments where you could go farther into a tournament, especially the one in Maui in December for college basketball teams and all that. But at least it's like almost 3 times as many games. There's so much practice time and film time and lifting time, so much more because there's less games, but you spend so much time prepping. And I think that's where Cignetti is like, man, we don't have to spend forever and a day on this, but we need to be really efficient on this. And you can't cheat it. You got to be efficient. You got to have a sense of urgency, a pep in your step. You got to work smarter, not harder. If you get older, less can become more, which I still don't like hearing, even though he was right. So for me, when I heard that from Herm Edwards, combined with everything else we had shared, I was like, dude, love it. So here's my quick story on Herm Edwards. And I think I've shared this a couple of years ago on the ticket. So if you heard it a while ago, bear with me. But at the combine, you go from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting. It's 15 minutes with each team. Boom, 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 boom. And a lot of those teams, for some unknown reason, had picked my 15 worst plays from college. Not all of them, but about half of them. And I just sat there and they'd berate me and yell and scream at me. One of them ended up being my D-line coach at the Redskins, Coach Bernie. So when I walked in the door at DC when I got traded there, I didn't know who the D-line coach was. I saw him. We met briefly. I called my wife. I said, it's him. It's him. He's my freaking D-line coach now because I remembered him from the combine just ripping into me like a monkey on a cupcake. I'm like, dude, I didn't know you 5 minutes ago and I won't know you 10 minutes from now, but okay, let's enjoy each other's company while you yell and scream at me for 15 minutes, but they want to see how you react. So anyways, Edwards was the coach of the Chiefs. I walk in. Immediately, they start to play film. Immediately, I recognize the first play. It was the first play of my college career versus Utah State. I got pancaked by a guy that had no business pancaking me, but I was a little overwhelmed. That was the first play, and I don't know what my facial expression was. It must have been bad, because he looks at me, he shuts the film off, he goes, Adam, let's just talk. I think he could see I was like over this, like, oh my gosh. And we just sat there and talked. I don't even know if football really came up. I did ask him about Will Shields, because Will was like, he was at this stage in his career where he was like year to year. Am I going to come back? If I come back, I'm a Pro Bowler, but I could also retire. I've been doing this for whatever it was, 15 plus years. And I've never forgotten that. And every time I see Edwards, I have that memory in my head. All right. Last clip. Should we talk a little basketball? You got any thoughts on anything so far? I'm moving quickly here. I hope it all makes sense. You got anything, Jake? Is there anything off the text line?
Let's see. Looking through the text line here. Not as of yet. We can get to wrap it up here with Hoiberg. Yeah, let's just get to Hoiberg.
All right. Sounds good.
Find a way to get our toughness back and get our swagger back. You lose a couple games, and sometimes you think the sky's falling in. And, you know, at the end of the day, you lost to 2 top 5 teams. But there's a lot of things that they did, and there's a lot of things that we did that could have prevented that and got us on the other side of it.
It's a short clip. Jake did not cut it off. it's interesting because he makes some good points. I don't know if their toughness just evaporated or anything like that. You lost. They're 2 top 5 teams. Michigan's, I believe, is number 2 again, and Illinois is number 5. Michigan's either 2 or 3, and I know Illinois is 5. And again, most people think it's going to be Arizona, Michigan for the national championship, just based on performance, but also the physical talents of the team. Just random. Michigan is the one team physically, I think, that can outright beat Arizona, but they lack consistency. So I would take Arizona every day of the week and twice on Sunday based on what I've seen so far if I were to predict a potential national championship game between those two right now. With Hoiberg, though, it's like, yeah, go halfway across the country. Go get a win tomorrow. The game's at 11 a.m. Central Time. Go beat Rutgers. Come back, play. I believe they're still number 12, unless they moved on Monday's poll. I think Purdue is still number 12 in the country. Get a top 15 win. Not going to be easy. And you're right back on track. You don't have to do anything crazy. It's not like the season's gone off the rails. And I don't think anybody feels that way, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody feels that way at all. You knew at some point they were going to lose, probably a couple of games. That's just the way it works, especially when you play good teams. You know, beat Rutgers. Come back, play Purdue tough. Hopefully we get a win there. And you're right back on track. And the biggest thing is, you know, Sanford is back, is rolling. Okay, he's going to set the single season record in made threes. He's tied Keisei Tominaga at 76. He'll probably set it on Saturday. All right. Get Sanford. I'm sorry. Frager. I keep saying Sanford, but it's Frager I'm thinking of. He's back. He looks healthy. He played well the last game. Unfortunately, we didn't get the right outcome. The bad guys won, but he's back. He looks good and healthy, ready to roll. Mast, I assume, is healthy at this point. Let's get his confidence back. His confidence seems a little bit shaken, but it's funny. Shooters like that, you make your first couple 3 baskets and boom. It's like a hitter. You go 0 for 10 or 0 for 12 at the plate. All of a sudden you get a hit. You get another one and boom. It's like it never happened. And all of a sudden you hit a hot streak a lot of times. A lot of people come out of a slump. I'm not saying Mast in a slump. I'm just saying like a hitter. If you're in a slump, you get a couple of hits. All of a sudden you become red hot. So it wouldn't surprise me. Mast hits a couple of shots. Boom. Confidence is back. And here we go. You got any thoughts before we head to break, Jake?
I'm just excited for Husker basketball to get. It's been a week, you know, we've had to wait for it, and I'm sure they're excited too to get off this losing streak and moving forward.
Yeah, dude, I'm kind of in withdrawals without Nebraska basketball. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I love pushing hard at the gym, but the soreness after, not so much. I researched about what to look for in a good red light system, so I tried the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan. The full body red light relaxes and refreshes my muscles. It's part of my recovery routine, Max Tan.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with a bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G1388852 and G16518. 2,500 down with proof credit.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of February. Get an early start on it. Sit down. The snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. When we're looking out for a homeowner, we're always keeping their budget in mind. Let's put numbers together and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come join the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the Super Bowl at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of foods for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Buffalo Wings and Rings? It's the Super Bowl party with 93.7 The Ticket at Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies, be breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds, a low around 23. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, be breezy. The afternoon high near 49. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, February 6th, featuring members from the Nebraska baseball team. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. You heard that right, a skate park. And also highlight the upcoming year for Husker baseball with players from the team. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, February 6th, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special interview. Before we dive into that, shout out to Mulberry Barbecue. Jake, did you know they have 2 locations?
I've heard.
Have you heard? They have 2 locations. One right off of 11th and Cornhusker and 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. That's actually very close to my house. The one we always do the remote from. Can we do more shows there? First of all, it's 8 minutes away, and I get free food. Can we do more there?
Talk to them about it, yeah.
And it's delicious food, by the way. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try the burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue. Also, shout out to Suizo Construction. Ladies and gentlemen, where safety is not just a policy, it is indeed a promise. And a promise they keep. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply today at Suizo.com, SCHWISOW.com. 40 years strong in business. Check them out. All right. Now at this time, I'd like to bring on our special guest, a defensive line coach, recruiting coordinator. All right. Here at IWCC Revere Football, a man who was deep into the interview process as part of being Nebraska's defensive line coach, a man who does a great job in general as well, Mr. Aaron Terry. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well.
I appreciate you taking the time to join us. So, first question right off the bat, I'm just kind of curious, and you don't have to, divulge anything more than what you're comfortable with, obviously, but what was the interview process like with Nebraska? What was that kind of like experience for you going through that?
Oh, it was really awesome opportunity and experience. It all kind of started with really a phone interview type, and then ended up going down and being able to get in front of Ulrich and some of the deep staff guys, and just talk football. From recruiting to evaluating to scheme, all that type of stuff, So it was really, really awesome opportunity, and just was grateful to have a chance to obviously go down there and be able to interview for it.
I did want to get kind of a career update there too, because I know after getting an interview like that too, I was wondering if you've had a chance to get sent more. Are you staying at Iowa Western for now?
Yeah, as of now, that's the plan. But so you never know in this profession where there's always things that can shake, kind of through this February, with coaches going to NFL and stuff like that. You never know what opportunities can come.
Did you go to any youth girls basketball games during this interview process? Because that's what Coach RHULE did with Coach RH. Did you go to any youth girls basketball games in this process?
No, we didn't. We didn't get to do that, but that was where it was more just me and Ulrich for the most part, talking ball, and we didn't get a chance to check any club basketball games out.
Okay, this is completely random. Either one of you can ask. Why do you think RHULE took him to a youth basketball game? He almost he wanted to watch his daughters, kind of do the interview with RH, but also watch his daughters. But it almost felt like there was something he felt like he could learn from a particular youth type atmosphere. And youth sports is a little bit more intense than it used to be. There's pluses and minuses to everything. Well, what's your take on that, Coach Terry?
Yeah, it's obviously looking from the outside in, you're like, that's kind of awkward or weird. But I think at the same time, man, this profession, it's kind of probably made it a lot more easier where, you're sitting in an environment where it's not as serious as maybe sometimes you think it would be for an interview, and probably make it a little bit more laid back for him to go in there and kind of be himself too. And so I felt that was part of it where, I think family's important in this profession as well. So I think that to be able to go and use the professional side of it, but still be able to see kids' games is pretty cool to see what type of Coach RHULE is as a person.
Coach Aaron Terry joining us here from Iowa Western Community College. I do want to ask you specifically. Obviously, we know people kind of got familiar with the name Andy Barberia, so I want you to maybe highlight him and what he did, but also just the very nature of being at Iowa Western, such a strong program, but your players are kind of rotating in and out. It's as opposed to at Nebraska. Obviously, you want to keep the players, retain the players. Your goal is to kind of move them up and about. So, you've got. In other words, you got to be a great coach throughout this on the field because you're working with different guys every other year.
No, I mean, I always joke with those 4-year schools that come through now that, too, it's like JUCO at the 4-year school now, where you have kids for a year or two with he's leaving, and so, but, it's part of the process of what we do here, and it's really trying to invest as much as you can in those kids in a year and a half, kind of teach them the life skills on and off the field, and build a foundation of kind of fundamental football standpoint, where, when those guys are leaving, they mentally understand the process and what it takes to be successful, and so they're able to carry that on to the next level. Andy, I mean, he's been one of the. I've had a 51 D lineman go to FBS programs in my time. I've had Davion Nixon was the big city player there at Iowa. Carrion Winfrey was at Oklahoma, drafted to the Browns. We've had some high profile guys, and Andy is just as good as any of them, man. From a production standpoint, I mean, he had 23.5 CFLs and 11 sacks. So his production is as good as anybody. But those are the type of kids you want is they're game changers. And even when they're not making the plays, they're disrupting stuff in the back. Where, guards get blown up, where the pulling guards can't get around.
Hey, Coach. We're having a little bit of a hard time hearing you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Sorry, if you have anything to add to the answer, we're just having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'll ask you one last question. And I'm not going to lie, it's one of the ones I want to ask. I also know it can come across a little bit as nosy. So you tell me whatever you're comfortable with sharing or whatever you're not comfortable with sharing.
Yeah.
When you're talking like X's and O's and recruiting and, obviously defensive line played throughout this interview process with Nebraska. And again, this is where you're comfortable. Your comfortability level comes in. You share with us whatever you're comfortable with. What were some of the things that were discussed to the specific level that you're cool with sharing?
Yeah. Well, it just kind of from starting from drill work and how that drill work carries over into the scheme of things. And then obviously when you're talking schemes, what are some of the different fundamental principles of, getting a base block, getting a pole with a down block, and, what type of techniques you're using and what type of philosophy you have as far as, how you attack those things, And so, we got in the detail, and that's where, for me, everything's kind of detail oriented with having an explanation and why you do what you do, right? And so everything from a blocking scheme to the fundamentals, the drill work, we talk a little bit of everything, from that standpoint.
That's interesting because different coaches do teach different techniques. You kind of imagine what would the recruiting philosophy be, what's your philosophy on this or that. I love that they kind of went with, hey, fundamentals, techniques, how do you approach this? What's your belief on this? I've seen probably 3 or 4 different ways to take on just a double team at the 3 techniques. Some I liked, some I didn't. Some were better for taller people, some were better for squattier people, so to speak. But when it came to maybe X's and O's and recruiting, again, your comfortability level, what were those conversations like?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was part of just evaluating, some of the guys that are currently on the team and evaluating some guys that are in the portal and kind of giving my input on it, as far as what I look for as a coach and kind of what I felt they had or what they were looking at as far as potential players, And so, I think when it comes to the recruiting process of it, obviously you want talent, but you want to find kids that kind of fit your scheme too, as far as what type of system you have. So, you're not getting a really long athletic kid who is maybe a pass rush guy, but you're a scheme where, hey, we're trying to stop the run first type, And so you obviously need some guys like that, but that's part of the whole, I think, philosophy of it is understanding what scheme and system you're trying to run, and then finding the kids that fit that system.
Coach, we got a mutual friend in Chris Kolarovich who's brought you in studio before. So I just wanted to ask you, while he's not here, that you can maybe give him some flowers here. What was it like coaching with him on the defensive side as he was the linebackers coach with you?
No, it was awesome. Chris, a young guy, a lot of energy, and even the recruiting side of it, man, it was kind of his first time going through that. So it was cool to see. He does a heck of a job, and he's obviously passionate about football. So when you can find some young coaches that can do that, it was an awesome experience for him this year to be able to kind of go through everything. And so, awesome guy, awesome dude. And, he's a heck of a football coach already, but, as he continues to grow, he's going to be a big time coach at some point in his career.
Coach, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you as always, and good luck as you prepare for next season.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys.
All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all of the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, February 6th, featuring members from the Nebraska baseball team. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. You heard that right, a skate park, and also highlight the upcoming year for Husker baseball with players from the team. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, February 6th, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Dinner and a movie? You've done that. Arbor Axe House has a date night deal that really hits. This Valentine's Day, enjoy a special rate that includes an hour of axe throwing for 2 plus drinks and koozies. Reserve your lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House on the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jake, are you going to be in on Monday?
I should be, yeah.
The most missed work day of the year is Monday after the Super Bowl. By the way, I'll see you Tuesday. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we give away some free stuff, because we love to do that here, so hopefully you'll like us. Before we do that, shout out to a couple of good partners of the show. Shout out to Hamilton Telecommunications. They bring you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at HamiltonTel.com. Again, that's HamiltonTel.com. Also, shout out to Culligan of Lincoln. Jake has enjoyed, as we've discussed, much improved showers as of late due to Culligan of Lincoln. Is this true? Is this the truth?
I need to get some Culligan. I still need to work on my showers, yeah.
That'd be the headline to the next show. We need to work on our no. We got to keep that to singular there. But all right, as a former Husker and NFL player, as you find folks know, a bit of a health nut, hydration recovery, they do start at home. Make sure you team up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and protects your water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, added Culligan reverse osmosis. It's like bottled quality water right at your tap. Great taste and is certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system or just $9.95 a month for your first 3 months. Schedule your free water test at CulliganHuskers.com. Again, that's CulliganHuskers.com. Culligan of Lincoln, water you love, go Big Red. All right. We need people to like us. You should give away free stuff now. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It is time to give away some Super Bowl squares. In fact, our last 7 Super Bowl squares we got to give away before our Super Bowl party at Buffalo Wings and Rings on Sunday. So 402-464-5685. Type in your first name and the word square. First 7 people to do that will be in on the action. Get a Super Bowl square.
All right. Don't miss out, ladies and gentlemen. Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl Sunday. Drake May almost won the NFL MVP last night. Matthew Stafford brought his kids up on stage, coming back for an 18th year. He announced, is the NFL MVP? Has anybody ever won the NFL MVP? You don't have to look this up. I'm just like, for the first time in their 18th year in the NFL. What a phenomenal feat. You got a smirk on your face. What are you smiling about?
Oh, no, it is incredible.
It's why I took the Rams to make it to the Super Bowl, but alas, Matthew Stafford's a failure, and no, I'm just kidding. He won NFL MVP in his 18th year. That's amazing. All right. The Seahawks are now a 4.5-point favorite. Just about everybody I talk to is like, just think this is going to be a blowout. I do not agree. And if I'm wrong, I'll see you Tuesday. All right. So Seattle's offense has been blowing it out the water, averaging 36 points a game in the playoffs, which is crazy. All right. Now, they're averaging 331.5 yards per game over their previous 4 contests, I should say, of the regular season. And they were averaging 28 points per game. And all that has jumped up, especially 36 points per game, almost 350 yards a game on offense, which is crazy in their 2 playoff games. Special teams have been playing really well. You look at the Patriots. I think their defense is going to keep this game closer than people realize. Now, will the Patriots win? We'll see. They have more Super Bowl appearances than any other franchise. This is their 12th. And if they win, they would surpass the Steelers and the Cowboys for the most amount of Super Bowl wins in history. It would give them their 7th. Their defense has played well. New England's defense, all right, in their 3 playoff games, they did not have a bye, A combined 629 yards they've allowed, combined just over 200 yards total offensive game. That's redonkulously good in the playoffs. All right, and all three opponents they have played have been held to 19 points or less. I don't think they're going to hold Seattle to 19 points. I also don't think Seattle's going to score 36. I could see this being like a 24, 21, 27, 24 type game. So you look at this. The Patriots offense is good, not great. They only had 206 yards of total offense in the AFC Championship game. It was also a borderline blizzard the last half of the game. They only had 65 passing yards. But again, a lot of that was due to the weather, and they knew the Broncos weren't going to score with their backup quarterback in that weather. So they basically just bled the clock and ran it out. Again, Drake May almost won the NFL MVP. So I've said all of that to turn it over to you before I give my pick. Who's your pick?
Well, first I want to say that let everybody know who got the squares there. Derek in the car, Mr. Mike D, Tyler, Shim from Hallam, D-Train, Dan, and Logan all getting squares. So congratulations. I agree with you. I mean, I think the Patriots, if they want to win this one, feels like you got to keep it somewhat low scoring, under kind of in that 24 type of number. Everybody's picking Seattle. I like them. I kind of like their weapons a little bit more. Obviously, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the offensive player of the year last year, he can go off. It's very surprising if he doesn't, in fact. So I'm leaning towards Seattle, but I don't expect a blowout at all.
It's crazy because Jigba was basically overlooked at Ohio State due to all the freaking talent they have in that wide receiver room and on that roster. I will take the Seahawks. I got a little bit lower scoring, a little bit closer than most, 24-21 Seahawks. Mike Vrabel, the Patriots head coach, a few years ago on a podcast said he would give up a certain male appendage in order to get another Super Bowl. Would you do the same thing to get your first, Jake?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I'm pausing. I probably wouldn't either, but man. By the way, you didn't ask me if I'd rather be a Heisman winner or a national championship winner. You said Super Bowl or national championship
winner
at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Ask me the Heisman
Would
national
you rather
champion.
be a Heisman winner or a Super Bowl winner? Is that what you're?
No, national champion at Nebraska.
Oh, national champion at Nebraska or
Heisman winner.
Yeah.
What would you pick?
Heisman.
Selfish. I would take the national championship, and under the table, I'd try to go get a Heisman too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bone.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and